Which should you buy? Good morning, YouTube. What's up, guys? I hope you're safe and healthy and doing okay. It's been a busy week for me, and if you've seen my Instagram story, or you could literally look behind me and see the gates and dog bed, then you'll know why. But I still managed to put together a video about 2 shoes today from the same brand that I've really been enjoying. Today we're going to be looking at the Asics Cumulus 22 and the Asics Gel Nimbus Lite. Let's do it. Shoes for a lot of time, and I've gotten a couple requests to do a video on both of them, so I figured I'd just combine it into one. Both the Cumulus 22 and the Nimbus Lite are daily trainers without all of the bulk and the plastic that standard Asics shoes tend to have. So today we're going to talk about the specs, the upper, the midsole, and the outsole of these 2 shoes, so you can decide which you would want to buy, and I'll tell you which I would buy. So let's go over the specs. The Nimbus Lite is 7.9 ounces on Asics website for a women's size that isn't specified, but for my size 10.5, this shoe comes in around 9.5 ounces. The Nimbus Lite also has a pretty big drop. It's 13 millimeters with 27 millimeters of stack in the heel and 14 in the forefoot. And for all of you wondering, the Nimbus Lite for me is pretty true to size. The Cumulus 22 is 6.9 ounces on Asics website for, again, a size that isn't specified. But for my size 10.5, this shoe came in around 9.71 ounces. The drop on the Cumulus 22 is 10 millimeters with 22 millimeters of stack in the heel and 12 in the forefoot. Now again, this shoe for me is pretty true to size. Now let's compare the uppers. So it's actually pretty cool. The Nimbus Lite upper is made of pretty much all recycled material. It's a soft mesh, and for Asics standards, it's simple and lightweight. The heel counter is sturdy and holds the foot in place, but there is no pull tab at all. The tongue is cushioned, but not overly so. The laces are soft and round and stay tied. I really don't have anything to complain about here, except for maybe no pull tab. And the toe box is also nice and roomy, if you can see here, which is great because I think it could accommodate a lot of different foot types. All right, so the Cumulus 22 is using a standard engineered mesh here, and I like it a lot. It's a little more heavy duty than the Nimbus Lite, maybe a little thicker, a little bit softer. The tongue is padded, maybe a tiny bit more than the Nimbus Lite. The laces are actually flat on the Cumulus 22 and thinner. And one thing they both have in common is there's no pull tab again. The joke is getting old, I know. So I had no problems with this upper. Like the Nimbus Lite, it gave me a good lockdown fit. One thing I will say about the Cumulus 22 is that it's a little bit more shallow than the Nimbus Lite. This has a little more volume, maybe for a thicker foot. And this kind of dips down here. It hugs your foot a little bit closer, and some people might like that and some people might not. Now, if I'm comparing the 2 of these shoes, which upper would I choose? Well, I think I'd go with the Nimbus Lite. I like how it's a little more breathable. The toe box is wider. There's a little more room and volume for your foot if you're wearing a thicker sock, whereas this really hugs it close. It's a really close race for upper, but yeah, I'm gonna go with Nimbus Lite here. All right, so now let's talk about the midsoles of these shoes. Both use flight foam and both use gel, and they both feel really different underfoot. So a theme with the Nimbus Lite is kind of thinking green. It's supposed to be made of recycled materials, and it's just supposed to be a more eco-friendly shoe, which is great. The Nimbus Lite is using a full-length flight foam material in the midsole, but there's a little more to it than usual. The Nimbus Lite also incorporates cellulose nanofiber, which is, according to Asics, a sustainable material that also increases the durability of the foam. Not only that, but we do have gel in the Nimbus Lite as well. Don't get it twisted. We got some directly under the heel and directly under the forefoot for a little more cushioning. Out of all the Asics shoes that I have tried, and I've tried a good amount of them recently, this midsole is my favorite by a long shot. The flight foam just feels so different, and I don't know if that's because of this cellulose nanofiber stuff that Asics is using, or if it's where the gel is positioned, but it is a soft, pillowy, amazing ride. Not only is it soft, not only is it super comfortable, but it's also responsive and kind of bouncy. This is the good stuff, y'all. This is the good stuff. I do think this is a really versatile shoe because of the midsole. You can do faster workouts in it. I mean, it's not made for that, but you could do it. And you could take it on longer distance days for your daily training because of how soft and protective it is. I also think that you will be able to get just as many miles out of the Nimbus Lite as you can in the Nimbus 22. It seems just as durable to me, and it's for a lower price point, and it's kind of a better shoe. The Cumulus 22 is also using a full-length flight foam midsole with some gel right here in the heel and some gel in the forefoot. Now, like I said, the ride of this shoe is very different than the ride of the Nimbus Lite. The Cumulus 22 is a more firm, responsive ride. And when I say firm, I don't want you to get confused and think it's like a rock under your foot and it's gonna be a really harsh ride. It's not. It's just a lot more firm than the plush feeling of the Nimbus Lite. How can I put this? This is a dinner roll with butter, and this is a dinner roll with no butter. Some people like butter on their dinner rolls and some don't. I would say that this feels more like a basic everyday trainer, and the Nimbus Lite feels more of like a max cush shoe. This is a durable shoe. It's versatile because of how firm it is. It can definitely hold up on those tempo days, and it has some bounce and some response, so it can definitely go long as well. If we're comparing the two midsoles here, I think it really just depends on personal preference. Do you like a softer, plush, sort of max cushioned vibe for your shoe, or do you like a more standard running shoe, daily trainer, firmer, a little more response kind of ride? I like a more max cushion, plush feel underfoot, whether it's daily training, long, slow miles, or even tempo pace. I like a softer shoe, so for me, it's the Nimbus Lite. As for the outsoles of the Nimbus Lite and the Cumulus 22, they both use Asics high abrasion rubber. AHAR technology is what it's called. Super long lasting, great traction no matter what kind of terrain you're on. So I really can't pick here who's better than the other. They're both really good. All right, so what shoe would I pick? I guess at this point it's kind of obvious, but for me, I would go with the Nimbus Lite over and over again. The lightweight upper, the pillowy, soft, yet bouncy ride of the midsole, the traction being as good as it is, you just can't go wrong with this shoe. Really, the major selling point for me here is the midsole. And honestly, I really think that's gonna be your deciding factor when it comes to choosing one of these shoes. Do you like a softer ride? Or do you like a more responsive, firm ride? Neither one is wrong. It's just personal preference. The Nimbus Lite is $149.95 on runningwarehouse.com, and the Cumulus 22 is $119.95 on runningwarehouse.com. If you're interested in the Nimbus Lite or the Cumulus 22, Running Warehouse has you covered. Just go to the link in the description of this video, click on which shoe you want, and pick up your own pair. It is an affiliate link, which doesn't mean much for you. It just helps out my channel so I can keep making videos about these fun shoes, and you can keep watching them, liking them maybe even. Well guys, that kind of concludes this video of which should you buy, the Nimbus Lite or the Cumulus 22. Either way, you really can't go wrong. Both really solid shoes from a great brand. If you enjoyed this video, please like it down below and subscribe. And when you're done with all that, hit that notifications bell down below so you can find out every time I upload a new video. Amazing. I have another video for you guys next week, but in the meantime, get out there, only socially distanced, get on the grind, and don't forget to run like Ruby. See you next time. I have another video for you guys. Oh, hang on a sec.
No.
Oh boy, Aruba. No. She's making the beeline. Ah! She's like
She's just biting.
Oh boy. Good morning. Good morning, YouTube. She wants no part of this.